William and Catherine are destroyed by King Charles' heartbreaking decision. Beneath the polished surface and carefully curated image of the British royal family lies stories that are never written down, only whispered through glances and heavy silences. Recently, an unexpected decision from King Charles has left both Prince William and Princess Catherine shaken and deeply hurt. There was no official statement, no sensational headlines. But for those who pay close attention, something significant is quietly shifting behind the scenes. They say that in the royal world, silence can be the loudest message of all. And this time, that silence carries the weight of a disappointment too difficult to name. Could it be that King Charles is charting a new path forward? One that disregards the feelings of his eldest son and the daughter-in-law once seen as the future of the monarchy. If you are curious about what could possibly cause heartache for the most beloved couple in the royal family, stay with us. Because the story behind this decision might just make you see the entire game of royal power in a completely different light. For centuries, royal endorsements have carried a meaning far beyond their symbolic value. They are not merely rewards for excellence or tradition. They are powerful instruments that can change the fate of a business overnight. When a company receives royal recognition, it gains more than attention. It earns public trust and secures a privileged place in a fiercely competitive marketplace. This endorsement is not just a beautifully printed certificate with golden embellishments. It is a gateway to a new realm where reputation and quality speak louder than any advertisement. People begin to see the company differently. It becomes more credible, more respected. In the grand scheme of royal influence, this is one of the most significant gestures a monarch or senior royal can make. However, not everyone has the authority to grant such recognitions. Only the sovereign or a select few trusted members of the royal family hold that power. When it is passed on, it is not just a ceremonial move. It signals a shift within the monarchy itself. For years, this system functioned smoothly, following tradition without much disruption. With Prince William and Princess Catherine growing in prominence, many expected they would soon take on that responsibility. This beloved couple has come to symbolize the modern future of the monarchy, but unexpectedly and quietly, everything came to a halt. No official announcement, no explanation, just silence, and with it, a rising wave of speculation. Was this simply a delay in paperwork, or was there a deeper meaning hidden between the lines? Looking back, King Charles has held this authority since 1980 when he was still Prince of Wales. For over 4 decades, he used it to support businesses and shape public perception of the monarchy. Now, as king, many assumed he would pass it on to William. But he has not. And in that quiet withholding, much has been said. It raises questions about trust, readiness, and control. King Charles may now lead the monarchy, but by keeping this power to himself, he reveals that he may not yet be ready to fully share real authority, not just in name, but in action. Even though William and Catherine appear fully prepared, the king's decision hints at doubt. It could mean that he still wants to hold the reins tightly, not just for tradition, but for personal reasons too. There are voices inside the royal circle that believe this move comes from caution. They think Charles is simply being careful. He wants to protect the value of the royal parent, but others see something different. They feel he does not completely trust the younger generation to affect the monarchy without changing it too much. And that feeling is growing beyond the palace walls. Businesses that have built strong connections with William and Catherine are starting to feel uneasy. They were looking forward to new opportunities. They believed that once the royal couple gained this power, they too would benefit. Their partnerships with the couple had real value. They were hoping for royal recognition, which could help their companies grow and even reach international markets. But now everything is stuck. Those businesses are waiting. They feel frustrated and uncertain. They don't know if or when things will move forward. Their plans are frozen, and the sense of hope they had is slowly fading. All of this because of one decision. As the situation continues to unfold, the silence from the royal household has only added to the confusion. People are watching closely, wondering what will happen next. It's not just about tradition anymore. It's about power, trust, and how the future of the monarchy is being shaped, not with loud actions, but with small decisions made behind palace doors. The royal warrant, once a steady symbol of order and honor, now sits at the center of a new kind of uncertainty, and it's not ordinary. The struggle faced by royal women. In the royal world, power does not always follow admiration. Some things are far more meaningful than a simple privilege. They reach into the heart of influence itself. What has been withheld from William and Catherine is not only a tool of endorsement, but a symbol of control, a way of shaping how the monarchy connects with the world. This refusal continues to carry weight, slowly revealing what lies beneath. It is not just about brands or economics. It is something deeper, something that stretches through history. The pattern is clear, though it is not always openly discussed. Even Princess Diana, loved so deeply by millions, was never given this particular authority. Her popularity was unmatched. Her compassion touched people across the globe. She redefined what it meant to be royal. Still, when it came to power within the institution, she was held back. She was never allowed to issue royal warrants, a tradition tied closely to status and influence in the British royal family. This privilege had once belonged to a Princess of Wales in the early 1900s, but after that, it was tucked away. For over a century, no woman in that role has held it again. Diana stood as a symbol of change. She did not fit the mold, and that made her powerful. She showed emotion freely. She took risks with her image. She cared openly for people in ways that felt real and honest. Her actions inspired people and made her even more adored. But even with all of this, her reach remained limited. Diana's ability to shape the monarchy from the inside was strictly controlled. The deeper parts of royal power, the parts that are rarely seen by the public, were kept from her. That caution never truly disappeared. It remains carefully hidden, but still present. And now it seems to hover around Catherine, the current Princess of Wales. Like Diana, she is deeply admired. She is graceful, kind, and always composed. Yet, she too finds herself waiting behind that same invisible barrier. The same doors remain closed. Catherine and Diana are different in many ways, but they share a unique role. Both of them have taken the spotlight and turned it into something meaningful. Their public appearances became more than routine. They became moments of global interest. Their actions, their words, even their silence could shape public opinion. And both of them helped modernize the image of the monarchy. They made it feel more human, more real. But while Diana challenged the system with bold moves and open emotion, Catherine has followed a steadier path. She chooses diplomacy, patience, and loyalty. She works carefully, always upholding tradition while gently encouraging change. People around the world respect her and feel connected to her. Her presence brings calm and strength to the royal family. Still, this careful devotion has not earned her the full trust of the institution. The royal warrant issue may seem small from the outside, but it reflects a deeper hesitation. It shows how slowly the monarchy moves when it comes to giving real authority to women, even those who serve it tirelessly. Catherine has proven her dedication over many years, yet that special role remains just out of reach. It's not simply about paperwork or titles. It is about how power is shared or not shared within the royal family. The truth is written plainly into the structure of the monarchy. Female members, no matter how beloved or influential, often remain on the edge of true decision-makings. They are praised for their grace and strength, for their beauty and charm. They are honored at ceremonies, their names etched into history. But the deeper control often stays with others. Royal tradition may shine with glory, but it is shaped by rules that favor caution over change. Time has passed. Society has evolved. The royal family has adjusted in many ways. But these small details show how deeply old ideas remain. Catherine, like Diana before her, shines brightly in the public eye. She plays a key role in shaping the royal family's image, but her influence is still limited in quiet, pointed ways. There is admiration, applause, and celebration. But at the same time, there is also hesitation. The delay in giving her more authority is not just a simple decision. It carries history with it. It reflects an unspoken belief that some things should remain as they always were. And that belief continues to shape the path of women within the royal family. The monarchy moves carefully, almost cautiously through time. It adapts only when it must, and often slowly. The influence of women like Diana and Catherine is real, but the structure they exist within still resists change. As the world changes around them, as new generations rise, this pattern becomes harder to ignore. The admiration these women receive is vast. They are celebrated but not fully empowered. Their dedication is clear and their impact is strong, but they are still expected to stay within certain lines. No matter how well they serve, they are loved deeply, but they are not always trusted completely. In the end, what is being held back is not just a title or a permission slip, it is a meaningful piece of influence, a chance to shape how the world sees the monarchy. The refusal says more than any words. It reflects an unsaid decision to hold on tightly to power, even as the world watches and wonders. And so the pattern continues with each new Princess of Wales standing gracefully in the spotlight, admired by millions, yet paused just before the line of higher authority. The Catherine effect. Catherine, Princess of Wales, holds a kind of influence that stretches far beyond her royal duties. It's not about politics or power in the traditional sense. Her presence has shaped an entire industry without needing to speak. Everything she wears becomes something more than just fabric or fashion. Her clothes, her shoes, her earrings, even her handbags are carefully studied. It turns into a movement, a demand, a wave that spreads across the globe almost instantly. Whenever Catherine steps out in public, photographers are ready, and people all over the world watch closely. Within hours, the pieces she wears sell out from stores everywhere. Designers she chooses are pushed into the spotlight, even if they were unknown before. Her touch gives new life to struggling fashion labels and lifts them out of the shadows. Just one photo of Catherine in a dress can cause thousands of people to search for it online. This is how powerful her image has become. For years now, people have called this effect the Catherine effect. It's not something small or short-lived. It has lasted for more than a decade. Her clothing choices have brought in millions of dollars in sales for fashion brands across the world. It has also helped small designers grow suddenly and helped big labels become popular again after losing attention. Some fashion houses that were nearly forgotten found new energy and sales because Catherine wore their designs. This kind of influence is rare, BMO. It doesn't need much talk. She does not speak for brands. She does not advertise for them. But still, she changes their future completely. It works through visuals, through elegance, through moments caught on camera. The public reacts almost instantly to whatever she wears, and the effect continues for weeks. Her presence is often more powerful than the biggest marketing campaigns. Just a single appearance in the right outfit can do what a publicity team might not achieve in months. Despite this, there are limits. Catherine cannot officially support or endorse any brand. Even though her fashion choices benefit many companies, she is not allowed to formally connect her name with theirs. And this is because she does not have the right to issue a royal warrant, which is a special permission given by a royal figure to a company, showing that they are officially used or supported by the royal household. Catherine has not been allowed to grant these. This restriction is not just about rules. It is about control. King Charles has decided not to give Catherine or Prince William the ability to issue royal warrants. And that decision says a lot. It means the older generation is not ready to hand over certain kinds of authority. Even though the public clearly responds to Catherine's image and style, the monarchy is holding back. The younger royals are being told to wait, even when their influence is obvious and growing. This pause has caused great disappointment. Many people in the fashion world had been expecting a change. They believed that once William and Catherine moved into more central royal roles, they would be able to formally support the companies they already lift up so often. Designers and brands were already preparing for that moment. They imagined it would come with celebration and new opportunities. Instead, the way they were met with silence. It is not just a matter of paperwork. It feels like a signal, a choice made with purpose. The older generation is not yet ready to give up certain tools of influence. And for Catherine, this decision carries more weight than most people realize. She has become much more than a well-dressed royal figure. She represents a new kind of diplomacy, one that works through presence and feeling. In the modern world, influence is not only about giving perfect speeches or visiting places, it is about connecting through images, through relationships, and through relatability. Catherine brings all of that naturally. She makes people feel included, respected, and inspired, all by simply showing up with grace and kindness, but without the formal power to offer royal warrants. Her influence stays in a restricted space. It's strong, but it's not official. It moves people, it changes markets, but it cannot yet be used to fully shape the future of British royal relationships with industry. It remains limited, like a beautiful painting hidden behind glass, seen but not touched. Still, her role continues to grow in unstoppable ways. Every time she appears in public, the effect spreads again. Designers hold their breath. Stores prepare for a rush of interest. People around the world pay attention. Catherine does not chase the spotlight, but it follows her anyway. Her calm presence, graceful choices, and careful appearances speak volumes. Even without formal power, she creates change. With dignity, she continues to shape the world she moves through. One step, one outfit, and one moment at a time, a modern face of the monarchy. The truth is, Catherine is not waiting for royal powers to be handed to her. She is not focused on being the future queen. Instead, she is working hard to step away from the long years of silence and waiting that came with her title. For so long, people in her position did not speak out or lead strong causes. But Catherine is not following that path. She is showing that she has her own way of doing things. With each project she starts and each cause she takes on, she is slowly changing what it means to be part of the royal family. She may not have all the official powers that her title once promised. Those traditional roles are still being held back. But she is creating something new and meaningful. She is earning the trust of the public. She is making herself matter in today's world by staying relevant and focused on real problems. That kind of influence may not come with a crown or a title, but it is powerful in its own way. Still, Catherine has not stepped away or slowed down. She is shaping the role of the crown in her own way. Royal honors may take time to arrive, but Catherine is not counting on it. She is working on building something different, something that lasts longer than ceremonies. While others wait for official duties to be given, she has already chosen a path that matters. She has placed her attention on something deeply important: childhood. She has not chosen just any part of childhood. Her focus is on the earliest years, the first 5 years of life. These are the years that shape almost everything that comes after. Scientists have said that early childhood is the foundation of health, learning, and behavior. Catherine has taken this seriously. She is not waiting for change to come from others. She is bringing change herself. While the royal family discusses ceremonial rites and who can do what, Catherine has chosen to act. She has a clear plan. This is not about smiling for photos or cutting ribbons. It is about effective work, policy, research, and impact. It is about helping people in real ways. At the center of her efforts is the Royal Foundation's Business Task Force for Early Childhood. This project is led by her, and it is bold. It stands apart from anything the royal family has done before. In a country where childcare is expensive and emotional support for children is often ignored, Catherine has found a way to step in. She is using her position not to give orders, but to lead by example and also lead with purpose. Interestingly, more and more people are joining her. Catherine has gathered strong support from major companies. She has brought in businesses like IKEA, NatWest, and large supermarket chains. They are not just giving donations. Rather, they are working together for serious change. They are building programs to support working parents. They are helping young children grow in healthy ways. They are making sure the well-being of children is discussed in business meetings, not just in schools or homes. Catherine listens, studies, and brings people together, and her efforts are making a difference. One big moment came when she released a powerful report. It was not just a paper filled with facts, it was a challenge to the whole country. It clearly explained how the early years shape everything from mental health to the strength of the economy. I've taken an interest in the early years. I think this really is bigger than that. This isn't just about happy, healthy children. This is about the society I hope we could and can become. She did not speak about it in a soft or emotional way. She showed the hard truth. If these years are ignored, the cost will be high financially, socially, and emotionally. For the first time, someone in the royal family was not just raising awareness. Catherine was offering real solutions. Her actions had immediate results. News outlets changed their tone. They began to take her more seriously. Politicians began to pay attention, and parents tired, worried, and often feeling alone felt that someone finally understood them. Catherine connected with them not by hiding behind royal privileges, but by staying steady and doing the work. She is creating a new way of being royal. It is not about traditions or titles. It is about purpose. It is about using influence to help people and to change the future. Her efforts stretch far beyond palaces or ceremonies. But at the same time, the usual signs of royal power are still not given to her. She still cannot give royal warrants. Those old symbols of power are held back. However, she keeps going. Her work remains thoughtful, filling the space left open by slow political action. She is showing that real leadership is not something someone hands you. It is something you build. You build it through actions, through ideas, through strong plans. You build it by showing up again and again and by staying true to your goals. Catherine is building hope. She is giving people something to believe in. But while she moves forward, Prince William is left to face doubts alone. The pressure falls on him. He is standing in a different kind of spotlight. And in that space, the questions come one after another without pause. Unlike his brother Harry, who had chosen to walk away from royal life in a loud and public way, William had remained. They had shared the same path, but not always the same heart. William had stayed beside his family, followed the rules, done what was asked of him. He had always been seen as the strong one, the steady one, the loyal one. Although they might seem like rivals at this point, it wasn't always this way. Two sides of a coin. Prince William and Prince Harry once shared a deep and strong bond that seemed unshakable. They appeared as two brothers who truly understood each other, standing side by side through every moment. Their bond, built from childhood, felt natural and effortless. It was shaped by love, loyalty, and shared experience. But over time, that connection slowly changed. What once seemed permanent has now turned into a distant and cold relationship. The closeness that once held them together has given way to silence and distance. Born just 2 years apart, William in June 1982 and Harry in September 1984, they grew up under the watchful eyes of the public. From birth, they were not only sons of Prince Charles and Princess Diana, but also young faces of a future monarchy. Their lives were filled with privilege, but also carried heavy pressure. Every move they made, every step they took was noticed and judged. Still, they learned how to carry themselves with grace, even when they were just boys. They spent their early years at Kensington Palace and Highgrove House. Their childhood was a mix of royal luxury and simple pleasures. Their days included playing in large gardens, attending the best schools, and meeting world leaders. Yet, their lives were not always serious or controlled. Their mother, Diana, made sure of that. She believed deeply in giving them real experiences beyond the walls of palaces and castles. She often took them to amusement parks and fast food restaurants, letting them see life from a different point of view. She also brought them along when she visited hospitals or met with those in need. These moments left a strong mark on both brothers. They learned how important kindness, compassion, and understanding were. These values remained with them as they grew into adults. Even as they took on royal duties, they continued to care deeply about helping others. As children, William and Harry were nearly always together. They enjoyed sports like polo and often took part in royal events side by side. Their bond was easy to see. They laughed, joked, and leaned on each other when things became hard. They seemed to face everything as a team. No one else could truly understand their life, but they had each other. However, not everything in their lives was happy. In 1992, their parents separated. The divorce that followed was very public and difficult. The eyes of the world were fixed on their family, watching every detail. The boys, still young, had to deal with this under a constant spotlight. It brought stress and sadness, yet they tried to stay strong. Then came the most painful moment of their lives. In August 1997, Diana lost her life in a car accident. At the time, William was 15 and Harry was just 12. The world cried for Diana, but the two boys felt a loss that no one else could understand. They walked behind her coffin during the funeral, holding themselves together while dealing with unbearable grief. That moment stayed with them forever. In the years after Diana's passing, the bond between William and Harry grew even stronger. They supported each other through the pain. William became the calm and steady one, always careful and thoughtful. Harry, more lively and spontaneous, brought energy and humor to their connection. Together, they balanced each other perfectly. They moved through royal life as a team, always showing that they had each other's backs. For a long time, they appeared as the perfect pair of brothers. They attended events together, supported important causes, and worked to keep their mother's memory alive. William, serious and focused, fit the image of a future king. Harry, friendly and open, made people feel comfortable and seen. They seemed to represent a modern and caring royal family. Their images together told a story of harmony. People believed they would always stay united. The public loved to see the two princes together. People saw them almost like brothers who could never be separated. Many believed they would lead the royal family into a brighter future. Their strong connection reminded everyone of their late mother, Princess Diana, as they appeared side by side, helping charities and speaking for causes Diana cared about. People saw hope in them. They looked like they would carry on her memory and keep her spirit alive through their actions. They worked well together, especially during campaigns like Heads Together, which focused on mental health. They brought attention to important problems and tried hard to make a real difference. Their teamwork seemed natural. They showed the world that the royal family could be modern, caring, and united. After facing so many painful years following their mother's demise, seeing them work side by side gave many people comfort. The royal family seemed stronger because of their bond. To the outside world, their relationship looked perfect. They smiled, laughed, and supported each other in public. They appeared to be close friends as well as brothers. Their deep history and shared experiences made it look like nothing could break their connection. But behind the scenes, things were not as simple. Small signs slowly began to show that not everything was as smooth as it seemed. Different decisions, different destinies. William was always focused on his role as the future king. He followed rules carefully and respected the traditions of the royal family. From a young age, he knew what was expected of him. He tried very hard to meet those expectations. Harry, on the other hand, was more relaxed and free-spirited. He didn't always feel comfortable with the rules and pressures of royal life. He wanted more freedom and space to be himself. Over time, these differences grew more noticeable. At first, the tension was small. Harry sometimes got into trouble with the press or seemed out of place during public events. These moments didn't seem important at the time, but they were early signs of something deeper. As the years went by, their different ways of handling royal duties became clearer. William liked to be calm, polite, and careful. Harry was more open and direct. Their styles didn't always match. Though they kept things professional in public, those around them noticed the changes. Their once strong connection started to feel more distant. They didn't always agree on how to deal with the press. They also had different ideas about their roles in the family and how to best remember their mother. These disagreements added pressure to an already difficult life. It was not easy being royal, and the weight of their responsibilities made it even harder to find common ground. Still, their long history together kept them close. Their shared past and love for their mother gave them a powerful connection. The public saw hope in them. They showed that even with the weight of royal duty, strong family ties could survive. They had gone through so much, losing their mother, growing up in the spotlight, and living under constant watch. That kind of bond didn't break easily. But as they grew older, the things that once brought them together also pulled them apart. They were no longer boys walking behind their mother's coffin. They were men with different dreams, views, and responsibilities. Slowly, things began to shift. Their differences, once small, became larger. William focused more on tradition and duty. Harry started looking for a different path. Their views and choices no longer aligned. What was once a strong bond began to weaken. Inside the palace, things were even more complicated. The royal family doesn't often share personal matters. So much of what happened between the brothers stayed private. They started appearing less together, and when they did, the warmth between them had clearly faded. Distance grew between them, not just in public appearances, but in personal moments too. The sense of support they once shared started slipping away. Their lives began to move in opposite directions, and the connection they had built since childhood started to disappear. What had seemed so strong now felt uncertain. William had always carried a heavy weight. As the future king, everything he did mattered. Every step had to be careful. Every word was important. He was raised to think about the future of the monarchy in everything he did. That responsibility shaped him. He made careful choices, including his marriage to Kate in 2011. Their partnership helped him build a steady and respected image. Together, they showed that tradition and modern life could work side by side. People admired their balance, and William became more confident in his role. As William settled into his future role, Harry felt more lost. He didn't have the same clear path. He often felt like he was living in William's shadow. The traditions of royal life didn't bring him peace. He wanted something more personal, something that truly belonged to him. He didn't want to be just the spare. He wanted a meaningful role that reflected his own values. Harry began searching for that purpose. He questioned old rules and tried to find new ways to make a difference. But it wasn't easy. His frustrations grew. William, who found comfort in structure, didn't always understand Harry's struggle. Their differences, once small, became harder to ignore. Eventually, Harry found some peace in the military. Serving in the British Army gave him something he had been missing. He felt useful. He felt respected for who he was, not for his title. His 2 tours in Afghanistan were especially important to him. In the Army, he wasn't treated like a prince. He was treated like any other soldier. This experience gave him confidence and a clearer sense of identity. The Army brought him purpose, but it also reminded him of how far he felt from royal life. When his time in the military ended, he had to return to a world he no longer fully fit into. The media pressure returned, the old expectations returned, and he began to think even more seriously about changing his future. The distance between the brothers grew larger. They were no longer walking side by side. One followed duty and tradition, the other followed his heart in search for freedom. Their story became more complex as each step took them further along different paths. Still connected by history and love, they were now shaped by very different futures. In the end, their journey reflects the challenges of growing up in the public eye while carrying the weight of royal duty. Though once deeply connected, their paths slowly drifted apart as personal desires and responsibilities shaped their lives differently. William embraced tradition and duty, while Harry wanted a purpose beyond royal expectations. Their story, marked by love, loss, and change, remains deeply human. Two brothers, shaped by the same past, yet moving forward in very different ways. Their story is one of change. It began with deep love and shared memories and has moved into a time of silence and distance. The world continues to watch, remembering the boys who once faced everything side by side. Their journey, filled with both joy and sorrow, remains powerful and emotional, even if they now find themselves on different roads. But loyalty, when not returned, can start to feel like a burden. And now, perhaps for the first time, William was beginning to feel that weight in full. King Charles's mistrust for the younger generation. I don't want to be confronted by my future grandchild saying, "Why didn't you do something?" underneath his royal image and duties. There may have been hope. Maybe Prince William had believed that the years of preparation were finally paying off, that his father was ready to let him shape the future of the monarchy. But instead of a step forward, he was left standing still. He was praised in public, but blocked in private. What he was denied was not just a title or casual responsibility. It was something symbolic, something that showed belief and trust. It would have marked the beginning of William's greater leadership. The decision to withhold it left a hole, not only in his path forward, but also in the trust between father and son. It hit the Wales family directly and painfully. As the days moved on, people kept noticing small signs. Fewer shared moments between the king and his heir. More distance, more silence. What had once looked like a clear journey toward the throne was now covered in shadows. And William carried that weight silently, always moving forward, but perhaps now with heavier steps. At the center of everything is King Charles. He is 76 now and going through treatment for cancer. The years have added weight to his shoulders, and that weight is not just from illness. He carries the responsibility of leading a royal family that is trying to find its place in a changing world. In the beginning, only a few people worried about his health. But now, those worries have turned into louder conversations. People are no longer silent about the future. They are openly talking about whether he might step down. What seemed unlikely before is now looking more possible with each passing day. If King Charles decides to walk away from the throne, the effect might be stronger than anyone expects. It could shake the royal family to its core. The way he leaves and the actions he takes before stepping aside will matter deeply. If he does not fully pass on the power to his son, Prince William, then a dangerous gap could open. It would not just be a peaceful handover. It could become a time of confusion and uncertainty. Unfortunately, Prince William stands at the center of this storm. For many people, he already appears to be the future king. He handles national duties with calm and responsibility. He speaks carefully, acts respectfully, and shows a sense of balance during difficult moments. People have slowly come to trust him. At his side, Catherine brings warmth, dignity, and kindness. Together, they have spent years building a bond with the public. They represent something new and hopeful, a royal couple that many feel connected to. But the truth behind their growing popularity is more complex. Their image may be strong, but without the full powers of the crown, their influence remains limited. They are admired, but admiration is not the same as authority. If the king does not formally give William all the rights, roles, and powers that come with being the heir, then William will remain stuck in a space between duty and destiny. He will look like a leader, but will not fully be one. And that is where the real danger begins. Within the palace, people have started to worry. Insiders are saying that without a clear and complete transition, everything could start to fall apart. The public would turn to William for guidance, but the traditional royal systems may not react quickly enough. Decisions may be delayed, actions may be slowed, and instead of stability, the royal family could face confusion. In a time when more people are questioning royal power, a moment of hesitation could do real harm. It would not just hurt public support, it could weaken the monarchy as a whole. Every delay, every pause in decision-making adds to the risk. And the biggest delay so far has been the royal warrants. These official papers, which allow William and Catherine to act with full royal power, have not yet been granted. All of this leaves William waiting. At first, this delay seems small, something that could be explained with a simple reason. But now, people are seeing it differently. It feels more serious. Some believe it may be the king's way of holding on to control. Others think it might show his doubt about the future or his own feelings of paranoia. Whatever the real reason, it has created more distance between the generations. It has made people wonder if the king is truly ready to let go, not just of his role, but of his mistrust in those who come next. William and Catherine both stand in the spotlight, watched closely by millions. The public sees their effort and their patience. But beneath the calmness, time is running out. This moment is not just about their readiness. They have already proven that they can lead. The real question is whether they will be given the chance to do so before it is too late. A delay could turn strength into doubt. An unclear handover could bring confusion instead of continuity. The royal family has reached a crossroads. The next steps will shape what the monarchy becomes in the future. Will William and Catherine step forward fully empowered, or will they be held back by traditions they never asked for and a legacy they did not choose? Every day without a clear decision makes that question more urgent. While King Charles may have his own reasons for holding on to certain royal privileges, in an era where the monarchy must appear more youthful, dynamic, and relatable, gradually passing down those rights to William and Catherine is something that deserves serious consideration. This couple represents not just the next generation, but also a fresh and modern image that aligns with the expectations of today's society. Transferring privileges, such as the right to grant royal warrants, is more than just a symbolic gesture. It is a sign of trust and preparation for the future of the monarchy. When a king chooses to delegate power, he does not lose authority. Instead, he builds a foundation for lasting continuity. And perhaps the time has come for the past to make room for the future. 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 Make room for the future.